Here we go. So, I don't know if you guys recall Friday, but it was something like this. Actually, let me make this a little bit harder. Let's do this one. Okay, so that's a 3-term polynomial. That's the kind of answer you get when you FOIL, right? Something like that when you FOIL a problem. So what we were doing on Friday was, well, a couple of days last week, was factoring, which is like the opposite of FOILing. We're breaking it apart. What times what equals this? You remember the questions we asked? What times what equals x squared? X. So that goes on the front. X times x goes on the front. And then for the last part we said what goes into -8, what multiplies into -8, that could add up to -2. So what can go into -8?
-4, -2.
-4 and +2, or +4 and -2, or 8 and -1, or -8 and 1. Okay, which of those pairs can add up to -2?
4 and -2.
4 plus -2 is 2.
So -4 and 2.
-4 and 2. So we just put -4 plus 2 right there. And then that was it. And how could I check that if I wanted to? FOIL. If you FOIL that, it should go to that. You don't want to write this for the answer, that's the question. This is the answer. But, yeah. No, I just made that one up. Okay, that was from last time. That's the paper we just graded. So, number one, I guess we'll just learn by doing here. 2x squared plus 11x plus 12.
Just do all of it.
Okay. It is more challenging, but I do think a lot of people got this done in the other class because there's only 16. So, do you guys see what's different on number one in the problem that we just did?
X squared. There's squared. Oh wait, never mind.
Right. If there's a coefficient other than 1, there's a number. In other words, there's some number up here on the first term. That's going to make things more challenging, and we'll see why here in a second. Okay. It is still a 3-term factoring, so it is like a FOIL problem still. So, in the front, I'm going to ask the same question. What multiplies to get 2x squared? So what multiplies to get 2? 1 and 2. What multiplies to get 2x squared would be 1x and 2x. Or just x and 2x. So it's already a little bit different, right? Instead of just putting x and x in the front. We got to say what multiplies to get 2x squared. Okay, for the back, I'm still asking what can multiply into 12, but I'm no longer saying that adds up to 11. The reason why I can't do that anymore is because when there's a number on the x terms, when you're FOILing it, that 2 is going to change things. So really what we have to do kind of to check it is just do a little bit of FOILing and see if it actually works or not. So what can go into 12?
3 and 4.
3 and 4, 1 and 12, 2 and 6. Okay, now technically it could be -3 and -4, right? Or -1 and -12. Those also multiply to 12. But those are not going to add us up to a positive 11. So really I know I'm going to need 2 positives on this one. I'm not going to worry about the negatives. Okay, here's one problem. Is me putting 3 here and 4 here the same thing as me putting 4 here and 3 here? No, that's different. So not only do we need to check 3 and 4, we also need to check 4, 3, or 12, 1, or 6, 2. Okay, here's a hint that will help with a lot of these problems today. They do not often, occasionally they do not often use these extreme numbers. What do I mean by extremes? Extremes means like on the far away, on the edges. So it's probably not going to be 1 and 12. I mean, it could be, but most of the problems it's not. More likely to be the numbers in the middle, 3 and 4, 2 and 6, one of those. Okay, so I see which one the answer is, and I don't want the right answer yet. So I'm gonna put it in. I want to show us how to figure out whether the answer is right or not. Okay, I can check, so I just put in my first option right here, 3 and 4. I can check this by foiling it, but I don't have to do the whole foil. That'd be a lot of work, right? I set it up so the first will work out. We'll make that, and the last will work out. That'll make that. But what I haven't checked is to make sure that this 11x will work out. And where you get the middle term, you guys remember this? When you FOIL is from the outside and the inside. So if I FOIL just doing the outside and inside and get 11x, then I got it right. So what does the outside give me?
4x.
4x. What does the inside give me?
6.
Girls? 6x. And altogether that's 10x, not 11x. So I didn't do it right.
Maybe it's 2x times x.
Or is it 4 and 3?
Okay, so it could be 4 and 3, 2 and 6, 6 and 2. So before I go on to new numbers, I pretty much always just try it the other way around. So 4 and 3. Okay, now what's the outside give me? I guess I could have kept that. Outside,
3x.
3x. Inside,
8x.
8x. And that makes 11x, which is what we wanted. No, we're not multiplying here. We're adding, so it's the 11x. So that's the right one. If eventually, hopefully you guys will get, it might not be until you're in algebra 2. Some of you will probably get good enough to where you don't have to write as much down. You can kind of figure out in your head, but that's challenging. I wouldn't recommend it right off the bat. Okay, anyway, that's number 1. You guys ready? I'll just put that right there. Number 3. 3x squared minus 14x plus 8. Okay, so what am I going to put in front? What goes into 3? 1 and 3, 1 times 3. So I'm going to put x, 1x and 3x, just x and 3x. And for the back, I'm going to put what goes into 8. 4 and 2, 2 and 4, 1 and 8. Like I said, it's probably not going to be those two. Which do you want to try? I'll just do 4 and 2 since that's last. I think you got lucky on this one. Okay, what's the outside?
X.
2x.
Yeah.
Inside, 12x, which together makes 14x. Is that what I wanted?
Yeah. No,
Not quite.
Sorry.
Close.
Minus 4.
Yeah. You know what else goes into 8 besides 4 and 2?
Negative 4.
-4, -2. And actually, if I was looking, when you switch these signs, the only thing that's going to happen is those will switch. And what's -2 plus -12? -14. So if you get the right number, but it's the opposite of the right number, like a positive 14x instead of negative, if you just switch the signs, that'll solve your problem. So it's kind of good news either way. If you get a positive 14 or a negative 14, you're still pretty much done. Really, right off the bat, I should have known I needed negatives because this had to add up to -14. So I probably should have just been using negatives right from the get-go. But I didn't. Okay, number 5, 3x squared plus 5x. This is one of the more challenging things you guys will do in Algebra 1. Some Algebra 1 books don't even have it. They only have it in Algebra 2 sometimes. You guys are in the big leagues now. Alright, what goes in the front? X and 3x. Or 3x and x, either one. Okay, let's make a list. What can go into negative 28? Negative 4 and 7.
Negative 2, negative 14.
Or I'll go ahead and say 4 and negative 7. Although we don't really have to check both of those. If this one doesn't work, this one won't work unless if I get negative 5 out of this instead of positive 5, that means I just need to switch the signs. Anyway, I'll put positive 4, negative 7. Oh, wait, never mind, sorry. I won't write that down. We'll just keep going. 7 and 8, what else? Or 7 and 4, what else?
Negative 2, negative 14.
2 and negative 14, or 1 and negative 28, or the negative can be like, one of the numbers has to be negative, right? To multiply to get a negative. It can't both be negative, and they can't both be positive. So I'm just putting the negative on one of the numbers. Now, these two pairs are pretty extreme. They're like on the edges. So it's probably going to be one of these two guys up top, like this one or this one. So let's try that. I don't think I got it right. Hold on. Okay, what's the outside going to be? 7x. Inside? Negative 12x. What's 7 minus 12?
Wrong.
Negative 5. That's not right, but what? Okay, no, we don't switch the numbers. If you get the opposite answer, you've got your signs opposite. So we need to change the signs to plus and minus. That would change our numbers into a negative 7x and a plus 12x, which is positive 5x.
Wait, school's almost over.
About
I just looked outside, I thought it was morning, I was like, wait a minute. It's not raining.
yeah, I'm sure. It's probably just sprinkling. It'll start and stop. Number 7, 6x squared plus 5x minus 4. Okay. So, what's going to go in front on number 7? What goes into 6? X squared. What goes in 6? Okay, 1x and 6x or 3x and 2x. Okay, how do I know which it is? Well, you don't. You could try, let's say I guessed it was 1x and 6x. Then I'd have to use factors of negative 4 and see if I can get it to work for this. But I'm not going to spend all the time doing it. If no matter what I try with negative 4, like if I use negative 2 and 2 or 4 and negative 1, if I plug these in over here, 1 and negative 4 or whatever, it's not going to work. Okay, remember how I said that they don't usually use the extremes, although that sometimes they do. I think on this one it's actually going to be 3x and 2x. Okay, if you're not sure, the only thing you can do is just try it out and see if it works. And hopefully you get lucky and the first thing you try works.
So the first numbers can be different?
Huh?
The first numbers can be different?
Yeah, this is the first number, the first problem where our first number was not prime. So we got more than one option. Instead of 1 and 6, it could be 3 and 2. Okay, what are the factors of negative 4? 2 and negative 2, what else? 4, negative 1, negative 4, well, I'm not going to write all those. Could be 1 in front. So, which of those do you guys want to try first? If you guess right, we can get it on the first try.
2 negative
2 and negative 2. Okay, the outside is what? Negative 6x. The inside is plus 4x. What's negative 6 plus 4?
Wrong.
Not 5. Okay. Now, on this one, switching the 2's around won't change anything. Switching the plus and minus will just give me an opposite answer. So, I'm done with the 2's. You want to try 1, negative 4? Now, what's the outside?
Negative 12.
Negative 12. What's the inside?
2.
Negative 12 plus 2?
I knew it.
No, it's got to be 4 and 1.
OMG.
Okay.
Yes, everything wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, we chose the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I still might be wrong here. Do you know why? There are no primes, by the way, on this lesson. Right, it could be negative 4 and positive 1. That's the other thing. But if it is, then I should get. Okay, what's the outside? What's the outside?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. What's the inside? Plus 8. What's negative 3 plus 8?
Right.
5. Right.
It's hard to do.
We need some better guessers.
Imagine being writing it.
Yeah,
I mean,
We're just too skilled. We can't get it.
Whoa.
basically
15.
This time not like the odd one out. Like every time I see it.
Okay, what do you guys think is going to go in the front? Yeah, except for C's. 3C
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant.
and 5C. Now, technically, it possibly could be 15C and 1C, but it's not going to be. It's
We're
gonna-
going to pretend it's not.
It's not. Okay, what are the factors of 6?
2
2 and 3, or
1 and 6.
6 and 1, 1 and 6. Okay, probably not this guy, although it could be on some of these. Probably either 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. Now, notice I'm going for a positive 19, so I don't want these to be negative at all. Anyway, what do you guys want to try? 2 and 3 or 3 and 2?
3 and 2.
2.
Watch you guys get it wrong. We got it right. We're getting it right.
Okay, what's the outside?
60.
6. What's the inside?
50.
15 plus 6
We totally got it right.
is 20.
Obviously.
Oh my gosh, guys.
We got that first try.
That's not right.
I know. Rolling.
Okay, now if I switch it, let's just make sure we get it. Make sure it's not 6 and 1 here. What's the outside?
9C.
What's the inside?
10C.
9 and 10, like 19.
You got that right first try.
We obviously guessed that, right, Lisa?
We did. I don't know why you sound like that.
Bro, we got that right first try, boys. Hashtag YouTuber.
Are you making my voice?
Okay, 11,
There's
6.
a 50-50 chance, and we got it wrong. Okay.
Yeah. Well, technically it could have been 6 and 1, but I kind of ruled that one out. Minus 5A, minus 4. All right.
Are we your favorite class?
Absolutely. How's this going to start? 3 and 2. Probably. Okay. How's it going to end? What goes into negative 4?
2 and 2.
Negative 2 and 2 or?
Negative 1 and 4.
Okay, which one do you guys want to try?
Negative 1 and 4.
Negative 1, let's see if he says any better luck this time.
What do you mean better? Not the best.
Okay. Outside,
12A.
12. Inside,
Negative 2.
12 minus 2. Not that
It
one.
was right.
Okay, I'm going to switch the 4 and the 1.
How do you do 6?
Now what's the outside?
That's so 3A.
What's the inside?
Negative 8A.
What's 3 minus 8?
Negative 5. No.
Okay, that one's right.
Whoa.
Well, at least you didn't guess 2 and negative 2.
Yeah. At least I guess.
Why you looking at me?
Maybe the toy should have her guessing instead of letting a third time's the charm.
I didn't say you couldn't
My
guess.
second time. So
I'll guess.
next time's gonna be.
5 minus 14 minus 3.
Bro, hip hop bananas. Going down
Okay,
the
shh. Grand quiet. Okay, what's gonna go in front?
1 X or X.
X and 5x. Okay, this is gonna be a lot easier. Do you guys know how I know?
Either
Because 3 is a prime number, which means what?
1 and 4.
Only 1 and 3.
One and
Well, actually it's 1 and negative 3, or it could be negative 1 and 3, or it could be 3 and negative 1, or it could be negative 3 and 1.
I was right.
So, really, it could be all of these, but really, if I check just one of these, I'm going to immediately know if this one's right or not. Because if this gives me the opposite of my right answer, then I just need to use this instead. If it doesn't work, I have to switch to the order. Alright, which one do you guys want to try?
3 and negative 1.
3 and negative 1.
I gotta get it right.
Did you do it in your head?
No. Is
Okay.
it right?
No, but it's close.
What?
Not quite.
Negative 3 and 1.
Okay, no, not that. Okay, what's the outside?
Negative x.
Negative x, what's the inside?
15x.
What's negative 1 plus 15?
I was close.
It's 14, it's positive 14. We wanted negative 14, so what does that mean?
Switch the.
Switch to plus minus, so that's good news.
You were almost there.
Better than you.
You jumped and you hit the cliff.
He's like that one guy from Greek mythology.
Okay, one more. Number 15.
Let's go.
5, 8, oh, something's a little bit different on 15. Not that much different, just a little bit, not just tiny.
Where is it?
Can you do 16 with us then?
No.
Can you help us set it up?
No.
Dang.
Okay. Well, you guys see what's different on 15?
That's why.
There's a y and a y squared. We actually did a few of these on Friday, like 10 days ago. It doesn't change the problem very much, just a little bit. I don't know if you guys maybe forgot Friday.
You just have to add the y.
Yeah, the y then. Okay, what's going to go on my front? What goes into 5x squared?
X and 5x. What?
Okay, shh. Quiet. Alright, for the end, I'm going to still say what goes in negative 21 y squared. What goes in negative 21?
Negative 7 and 3.
Okay, but instead of negative 7 and 3, it's going to be more like negative 7y and 3y. So that's how the y squared changes it. It's more like the front. Yes. Okay, could be 7 and 3, could be 21 and 1, could be 3 and 7, right? So let's try negative 7 and 3. Hopefully you got lucky on this one. Okay. Huh?
Didn't you already do this though? So you
That's
gotta
like basically cheating.
Well,
You're cheating.
I could do it, but I'm letting you guys do it like it's your actual problem. Okay, what's the outside?
3xy.
3xy.
And what's the inside?
Negative 35xy.
Does that give us 8? No. So what do I need to do then? Right, switch the 7 and the 3. I'll call this plus 3 and minus 7. Okay, now, shh. Now what's the outside?
Negative 7xy.
Negative 7. What's the inside?
15xy.
Plus 15. What's negative 7 plus 15?
8.
Same thing as 15 minus 7, by the way. 15 minus 7 is 8.
It's art.
So this is the correct answer. We did it.
We did it. We
Okay.
did it. Yay.
Now that we did it, I need to tell you one warning because this always screws up everybody. Number 2 What do you guys think's gonna go on the front?
3.
2x.
2x
Oh, I do.
and 2x, or
X.
4x and 1x. 4x and x. Okay, now remember I said it's not usually the extremes, but sometimes. So number 2, I'll give you a help. It is the extremes. So we need to start off with x and 4x for your front. You should be able to eventually figure that out by yourself, but that's kind of a tough one for number 2. So anyway. I'll come around in like 2 minutes and see if you guys got 2 right. Make sure after you plug numbers in that you're actually checking it and not just guessing.